Hello, Miami. You're watching 305 Sports Now, your home podcast and channel for all things Miami sports related. I am Will.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me once again on this episode of 305 Sports Now. I took a little bit of a hiatus, both for a little bit of a mental health break, and also I was a bit sick as well. So I took a bit of a break so I could be able to recharge my batteries and be able to give you guys one heck of a show yet again. But we'll be really busy, all right, especially since spring break has just hit, Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So I'm a bit off, so I will be doing some episodes throughout the week as well. And next week, I plan to have Alex Dono once again come on here at 305 Sports Now. So we'll be discussing what he's seen over at spring practice and what he's given us all on his very, very good very good YouTube show, Lofton Canes, as well as also available audio on Spotify, etc. Alex Dono is a great friend of the show. Thank you so much again, as he will be joining us real soon. So one of the things I wanted to go over is a little bit about what is the spring. Okay, so spring football has been, pretty up and at 'em, as we know, right? It has been pretty active. We've seen a lot of video on social media in references to catches and references, to what looks like team bonding as well. And some of the drills that we have seen, coming from the coaches, as well as the players. We've heard that there's been some trash talking amongst position coaches, like let's say Kevin Beard, versus Chevis Jackson, as far as like the wide receivers versus the DBs going, and so on. So that's pretty exciting to see. It's very good to see also that the Canes have a very good and united group of football players that are now being, as you can see, molded into what Mario Cristobal wants from a football team. But I'm going to break down the offense and then break down the defense and give you guys a little bit more of what's going to be going on throughout the week. So I want to go over the offense. Okay, so first and foremost, the one thing I do want to talk about the offense is, of course, is Cam Ward. Cam Ward has been unbelievable, according to what I've heard. Everything I'm telling you today, I have no credentials. Everything I'm telling you today is coming from outside sources, whether it's Canes Insight or Locked on Canes as well. But Cam Ward has looked really good. Cam Ward has looked like the leader of the quarterback room that he was brought in here to be. He has built a good connection with his receivers, as well as especially Xavier Restrepo, as we've seen in the highlights, over on social media. He had a magnificent catch over Misha Powell that, made the rounds, that beautiful one-handed catch. There's also been that he's had some big-time catches as well in practice. He's been absolutely sensational. So don't be surprised if you do see more of a Cam Ward, Xavier Restrepo connection this year, as well as others. But I do think, get ready for another heavy dose of X, man, because I do think that Cam feels the same way about X, the same way TVD does. That is going to be his go-to guy, as the season continues to go on, and so on and so forth, as well. Another thing I want to go over, and I'm going to go over other receivers as well, is one guy that we've been wanting to see for like the longest time, and that's Trevante Citizen. I've heard things about Trevante. I've heard things from social media, from my sources as well, that, he's just coming along. His north-south running looks pretty well. He isn't just participating in spring. He also did participate and take some drills before the Rutgers game as well. He's looked, from what I hear, he's looking really good in spring ball. They just put on some pads, so we'll see how that goes along as spring ball continues to progress as well, all the way to the spring game, which I'll be attending on April 14th over at Cobb Stadium. So I'm excited to see this young man. This young man came very, 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 very hyped up out of the state of Louisiana. People thought he was going to go to Louisiana over to LSU. Picks the Canes, had a very devastating knee injury in his freshman year. Took 2 years. It looks like he's doing really well. He looks chiseled, looks big. And now with Henry Parrish now no longer a member of the Miami Hurricanes, entering the transfer portal, this looks like an opportunity that Trevante Citizen will get some run this year, as well as the other running backs as well. As you know, the Canes like to do a running back by committee thing. I do think Mark Fletcher will be RB1 at the beginning of the season. I mean, he's going to be that guy. He will be available for summer, from what I hear, for summer practices. But Trevante Citizen is going to make a clear-cut statement as far as, who gets reps and so on. Another guy I want to look at, I'm going to look at some of the young guys as well. And that's going. Oh, another thing I want to say about Trevante, he's not just looked like he's running well downhill. He's also looks like he's also has some shifting as well, right? His hip movements have looked pretty stellar from what I've heard as far as reports from practice go. This guy I really like. There's a couple guys I'm going to talk about today, one on offense and one on defense, that I think as freshmen are gonna make an impact. And one of the guys I talked about earlier in all other episodes and other people's shows, that was Elijah Lofton. Elijah Lofton, a stud tight end out of Bishop Gorman, the guy they call Brevin Jordan 2.0 over there, that old school, Brevin over in Bishop Gorman. He has looked really good in practice, and he had an unbelievable catch with one hand. I believe it was like this past week, that has made the rounds on social media. I like this kid. He is fast. You could put him in space as well. Has great hands. Makes catching the ball look easy. If you look at his highlights, can block. They call him the Swiss Army knife for a reason. You could put him in the running game as another running back. You could put him as a fullback as well. You could leak him out, create a mismatch for a linebacker. I'm really excited to see what this young man is going to do in the spring game. I'm also excited to see what this man is going to do in the season. I do not think that during the season, you're going to see this young man on the bench. Okay, he's going to get some run alongside, depending, of course, the matchups as well in the team. But he's going to get some runs, with guys like Riley Williams, Cam McCormick as well. And we're going to see, I think we'll see a little bit of Elijah Lofton, because he is too good and too diverse as far as his skill goes to be kept on the bench. Okay, I do believe you might see him in some packages. Or that's what I'm trying to say is I do think we'll make some packages for Elijah Lofton, whether it's in let's say in as a quasi fullback, okay, as a quasi fullback in general, or just line him up hopefully outside if need be, like if you need a big body guy to catch the football in the red zone as well, or just line him up at tight end and him go smash, leak out, catch the football, get some yak yards, and get some first downs. Right, I'm really excited to see what we have with Elijah Lofton. Another guy, of course, that is standing out as well, of course, is I heard the old offensive lineman, Nino Francavilla. Francavilla has looked good. He's been, a good plugging guy. They tried him out as center from what I heard, as a backup center as well. So we're looking at, what Nino could do as well. So I'm excited to see. We know that Mario Cristobal and, of course, Alex Mirabal pay very close attention to the line. And I do think Nino is going to be a pretty good football player alongside everybody else. Okay, it's Pancake Honcho is another one that I think is going to ball out as well. Pancake Honcho is going to do very well. I'm excited to see Jalen Rivers as well. I do hope that some of the young guys, I hope we hear a little bit more about them, like Tommy Kinsler and Antonio Tripp. I do want to hear a little bit more about those guys as well. But nonetheless, I heard Nino has been performing very well in practice. Markel Bell is another one too. Markel Bell, that big, gigantic O lineman. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays guard, because I don't think that they're going to move Jalen Rivers from the left tackle position into the guard position. I do think, if anything, Markel Bell, if he does play tackle, it'll be because Jalen's getting a breather, which they really don't do much with their linemen anyway. Just hypothetical, guys. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I do expect him, if anything, he might get inside and play a little bit of guard. That's all I'm saying. He's just a big guy. So another thing I want to add to, of course, is none other than JoJo Trader. JoJo Trader is going to get on the field. A lot of people are now saying how good JoJo Trader really is. JoJo is an absolute beast. Okay, JoJo Trader is an individual that was overshadowed because he had Jeremiah Smith on the other boundary. But JoJo Trader is absolutely sick. He could play defense and offense as well. And he's great at catching the football. Makes it look really easy. JoJo Trader is the next great Miami Hurricane wide receiver. I'm calling it. This kid is going to be absolutely phenomenal. This young man is going to dominate, whether you put him in the slot, which I heard he might get some run in, or you line him up in the boundary. Once he gets a little bit more mature, I mean, age-wise and physically, you put that kid in the boundary and he's going to house people. All right. He's going to house people. I don't know if I could use that term anymore. I don't know if it's outdated, but I don't care. He's going to house or blow the top off, whatever you want to say. It's another one. I like to use. All right. But he's going to house people. He is going to be a beast. Nikar Zano has gotten some run with one-on-ones with the second teamers or the defensive back position. I heard he's balling as well. Electric speed, can create separation. Another guy, you could put him in motion as well and jet sweeps as well. Leak him out. He could do some damage. So him and Nycar been doing very well, but JoJo Trader has been standing out in practice. The still shots, some of the photos in practice look absolutely phenomenal as far as JoJo Trader goes. Now I'm going to go, guys, the defensive side of the ball for a little bit. Okay. Another guy I think is going to be a stud, and I'm calling it as an anticipated freshman. I want to take a look at. That's Bobby Pruitt, Cameron Bobby Pruitt. All right, I want to see this kid. I heard has been getting the playbook very well, has been doing very well as far as what his coaches have said. He could be a great guy in blitz packages. If you look at his huddle video, his first step to get to the quarterback is blazingly fast. He's a very smart football player as well. All right, had a high GPA coming out of high school over in Alabama. Very good student in the classroom. Very good student in the football field as well. I'm very happy that he decided to go to the Miami Hurricanes and not the Alabama Crimson Tide. This kid is going to be a phenomenal player, especially when it comes to rushing the passer. And not only that, he's also going to be good at stopping the run as well. So I'm excited about him. Popo's another one too. I'm buddies with Popo's dad. Popo's another one too. Popo's another one that has excelled as well in practice. He's ready to take that next leap from what I hear. He's going to see some playing time this year, I feel, as well as the regular season goes along. And he's going to be an impact player right away. Another one I heard as well that's been balling out, according to Jason Taylor, is Thomas Gore. Okay. Came over here last year from the transfer portal. I heard good things about Thomas Gore, the defensive tackle position as well. So we'll see what happens. And of course, Ruben Bain is Ruben Bain, right? He looks more chiseled, like he leaned out a little bit, which might help him out with his quickness. No, really doesn't have a flaw to his game, right? Massively powerful, great hands, great footwork, knows how to get to the quarterback, knows how to set his edges, knows his job on the football field. So I'm excited to see Ruben Bain as a true sophomore, take on the likes of Louisville, take on the likes of Florida State, and take on the likes of the Florida Gators. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of announcements I want to discuss. Again, I will be doing another episode this week. I will be doing a possible Kane segment. Haven't picked the date yet. Don't know if I'm going to release it Monday or Tuesday. It's going to be on Chris Ewald. Chris Ewald, who flipped. Actually, he didn't flip. He decommitted from Michigan and has been crystal balled to go to the Miami Hurricanes. So I'll be doing an episode on him. He's a favorite of mine. Also, Chalupa Batman's as well. So I'm sure Corey will like to hear that. I'll be doing an episode on Chris Ewald. I'm going to go live this Thursday. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to do a Dolphin episode or do a Miami Hurricane episode. I'm going to try to get a guest for one of the two and see what happens. And then, of course, as I mentioned, next week, Alex Dono will be on the show. We'll be talking, spring practice, et cetera, et cetera. Another thing, too, I also want to promote, I will be attending the You Heard, get-together, all right, the You Heard get-together over at Caneswear in Davie, the day of the spring game. So if you want to meet myself, you want to meet the guys over at You Heard, Benny and Joe, etc., and some other people in the content creator world of YouTube. April 14th, 10 to 12, we'll be at Caneswear in Davie and University. Bye, guys. Do not forget to subscribe, share, and like. Like, share, and subscribe. Haven't done this in about 2 weeks, so bear with me, folks. Have a good day, guys. God bless. See you soon. Go Canes. All about the U. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye, everybody.